So I invite you guys to kind of look at the things on a different perspective. For example, your friend might tell you something, but deep down you know that's not what exactly they mean. For example, you gain something, they were like, "Oh, congrats!" But sometimes they are envious, but they're not gonna come to your face and they say that they envy it. They're gonna say, "Okay," but deep down they're like, "Wow." It especially happens between women. They have a huge rivalry. And Machiavellism is a very interesting topic. And Machiavelli suggests that after the age of 30, you're either a liability or an asset. And a lot of things kind of change, by the way. It's a truth that no one really wanted you to know, and no one will tell you. But after the age of 30, the world doesn't reward effort anymore, it rewards the position. If you don't understand that, you lose loudly, you disappear quietly. Somewhere after the age of 30, life changes its tone. Not dramatically, not violently. It just stops explaining itself to you. Suddenly, hard work feels invisible. Being nice feels expensive. Fairness feels optional. And the scary part, everyone else seems to know the rules except you. And this is usually how it happens. You look around and think, why are they moving forward and I'm out? You did everything right, but you stayed ethical. You waited for your turn. You trusted the process. And somewhere in between, you realize that it's uncomfortable. The process doesn't really care. There are some unwritten rules in this kind of field. Here's the rule number one, that after the age of 30, by the way, you might be thinking, okay, what is the age of 30? Because look, before that, you have to do like school, university, different kind of things, and society gives you a lot of chance to miss. But at the age of 30, you're not a kid anymore. They're gonna judge you based on the achievements that you have. They're gonna ask you, okay, all right, what do you have until now? What do you run? What have you done? What is this? They're gonna ask you some questions, which is completely fair, by the way, because you're grown up and you should take care of stuff. They care what you control, what you bring, what changes when you walk into the room, what leverage do you have. So these are very important questions, because potential is cute in your 20s, but after that, results are seductive. So that's the shift of that thing that happened. So let's be honest, promotions don't go to the hardest kind of worker, they go to the most visible one. Respect doesn't go to the kindest person either, it goes to the one who can't be ignored. And relationships, they don't survive on honesty, they survive on value. After the age of 30, people will stop pretending otherwise. The fake smiles. So you might be curious, like, okay, what about these smiles that your friends give you? Okay, let's analyze that one. By the way, if you like the video, like subscribe to the channel and like the down comment, because I'm curious to know what you guys think. Feel free to share your ideas in the comment section. So here's where it gets kind of dangerous. Nobody fights you openly anymore. They stop inviting you, they stop informing you, and they stop considering you. But they still smile, still polite, but it's all a show, it's all an act. So but you're already out of it. That's not drama, that's a strategy. That's what's happening every day. So Machiavelli enters the room, and he has realized this kind of concept. By the way, his concept is not for everybody, it's for those people who would see beyond the actual thing, would read between the lines, would understand the nonverbal communication, who would understand that people say something, but they tend to think differently and do differently. So Machiavelli made these things for the kings of that era in the past. And these are not let's say, the subject that everybody would understand. But these days, let's be honest, the social media and everything has pushed people to wear the masks and everything. So I think I look cool with the goatee and sunglasses on. Let me know what you guys think. But anyway, so Machiavelli wasn't evil or like a bad guy. He was awake. He knew something most people learn too late. That it's about the shift of the power. Power doesn't announce itself, it positions itself. In the real world, weakness is ignored. Naivety is exploited. If someone is naive, everyone would be throwing stuff at them. For example, if you have a group work, one would do all of the work and everybody would push that guy to do everything, and that guy is naive, that guy is stupid, and it would be exploited. In the real world, it's just the same. So these are like real interesting kind of topics, and the goodness without leverage is expensive. So this part actually hurts, but listen carefully. After a certain age, expecting fairness makes you predictable, not noble, just predictable. And because the world doesn't correct itself, it doesn't balance accounts. And it doesn't owe you anything. It doesn't owe you closure. Like those people don't owe you anything, and that's the interesting part. You don't owe them anything as well. Like if you feel like everybody is just passing and using you, just get up. It's like you are drowning in a sea that the depth is like 50 centimeter. All you need to do is just stand up, and you'll be saved. But most people would be like, oh, well, what if they don't like me? Well, in that situation, you don't respect yourself. So first you have to respect yourself, and then the other people would look at you and how you treat yourself, and then they would do the mirroring, because a lot of people do the same. By the way, I have a few other kind of videos on the same subject. You can check the description and watch them out. But that's not, a fiction, that's a reality. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you understand this, the pattern jumps out everywhere. The person who never shares credit disappears when you don't benefit them, gets cold when you succeed, or the one who only texts you, whether it's like a friend or sibling, they only text you when they need something from you. And when you text them when you want something, they shadow you and they ghost you. What this is exactly what I'm saying. If you don't get mutual respect, it's not really a good kind of idea to continue that. And the beauty is that you don't owe them anything, and you would just get out. And that way, the reward would be your presence, and the revenge would be your success. Your success through just not replying to them and trying to just ghost them. Just ghost them, and you're gonna thank me in a few years, and you're gonna see what kind of achievements you're gonna have in your life. But that's real. They aren't, let's say, toxic kind of anomalies. They are normal kind of players. This isn't a broken system. This is the actual system that works. So the lie of I don't play power games. What is that? So here's the dangerous belief. A lot of people might say, hey, I don't play the power games, but it's nonsense. Sounds noble, right? But power games don't need your consent. They're already being played. Look at Donald Trump, for example. You think he's ethical? You think he's a good guy? The guy doesn't care about anything. I was watching the news the other day. He was handshaking with Cristiano Ronaldo in the White House. It's the image of political football. Like, what is this? I already made a YouTube video on that one, the onward march of 2026. Also, he was handshaking with a guy that I think was the president of Syria, that was a terrorist before, and he's welcome right there, and he plays basketball inside the White House, which is completely like impossible. Like, they're enemies, but they're like together right now. So do you think Donald Trump cares about the ethics? Doesn't. Look at the powerful people. None of them do. And you think that's a random thing? It's not a random thing. Because these people, they understand the things that you are perhaps blind to see. But right now you can just try to open the eyes and look at the things on a different perspective. Even if you don't want to play, it's already being played. And you play unconsciously, so you're going to be the loser. And unconsciously, you lose control of your own direction. The most manipulated people are the ones who think they're above manipulation. And power today is quiet, and that's why it works. Power today isn't loud, it's not physical, it's an image, it's a reputation, it's the access, timing, the silence, the network of the people that do something. It's knowing when to speak, when to disappear, when to fight, when to let someone expose themselves, and when to say nothing. Because sometimes, I know it might be sounding kind of weird, but sometimes no action is the best action. No reply is the best reply. And it's with a period. And it speaks really good. Like, actions speak louder than voice. You can go and say, yeah, I want this, yeah, I want that. But when you put on action, that's good. That's a power move. And no is a complete sentence and it ends with a period. That's like really an interesting part. So, why tension explodes after the 30, you might be asking. Here's why things actually feel heavier now, because people are scared. They don't have the time anymore. It's like the FOMO, it's like the fear of missing out. You're not like having time to explore, you have a deadline to achieve, and also in the dating life is the same. A girl before the age of 25, she's going to explore, but after the age of 28, 29, she's gonna have the deadline. She's gonna try to push you, she's going to think ahead, next moves, what's gonna happen. And she needs a kind of stability. She needs to make sure that everything is going to happen. Otherwise, she's going to waste her potential life, and then she's going to turn out to be 40 with nothing. That's why resistance becomes subtle, indirect, deniable. Quiet sabotage feels cleaner than open conflict. So good intentions won't save you. Listen carefully. Being useful isn't enough anymore. You need options. Power comes from the ability to leave. The guy who's ready to leave the room usually has the most power in that room. The ability to choose, the ability to replace. So if you have another options, let's say you want to go and eat something, you have 10 different restaurants to choose. You're gonna choose the right one. But if you you only have one option and you're desperate, you're gonna choose that one, and you don't have the choice and you don't have the comparison between different kind of things. So that's the reality of things. The more options you have, probably you're gonna have a better kind of decision. It's also in the life and in the partner kind of thing. It's all in everything. The moment you're fully dependent emotionally, financially, and socially, you become manageable. And manageable people don't lead, they get arranged. The one pillar trap, what is that? If your entire life stands on your income, identity, your skill, and the circle of your close friends, you're not secure. You're exposed. So redundancy isn't betrayal, it's intelligence. After the 30, you stop forcing closeness. You don't argue anymore. You don't over-explain anything. You reduce the access. Not out of bitterness, but out of precision. A distance becomes a decision. People assume you won't change now, but given the benefit of the doubt, so they judge faster. Your voice, your posture, your claim under the pressure, your appearance and everything. These aren't the details, the devil in the detail. They're the signals, and signals decide how you're treated before you ever even speak. You understand that, right? Because people judge based on the appearance that you have. They say, yeah, don't judge a book by its cover. They're gonna judge you based on the clothes that you wear, based on the way you present yourself. These are like deep down the psychological uh, perspectives and the things that are really like engraved in our DNA. You cannot say, yeah, just change it. It doesn't happen like that. And clarity is attractive, clarity is dangerous, and is the power. So I would like to finish with this part, that I hope that this video has been beneficial for you. And if it taught you something, feel free to let me know down in the comments. And if you like, subscribe, and I'm curious to know what you guys think, because all these kind of concepts are quite heavy and you need to go deep in it to kind of get it, because on the surface everything looks simple, but when you go down and see, it's not exactly what it seems. It's completely different. And by the age of 30, I suppose you can have the clarity and the mind that can lead to a better kind of thing. Because let's be honest, years ago our ancestors, they were living in the tribes, and the guy who could actually control the tribe was the powerful person, and through that they had the territory. But these days it's just through social media platforms and the number of followers or the likes you have. It's just the same but a different game. I hope that you like this video, and until the next one.